back to our This Is Us episode review. Our thoughts on tonight's episode of This Is Us, titled Highs and Lows. And I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Again, it was still a bit of a filler, but,
Yeah.
you know, with a show that has 18 episodes, you're going to get those. But even then, I still really enjoyed it. One thing I got to say starting out, I'm glad that Deja, I was a little worried that they were going to play too much in the stereotype of, like, girl from a damaged home kind of thing. I mean, I know that she's, like, troubled, but, like, I'm glad that, like, she wasn't, like, angry at them the entire episode, that she was kind of willing to listen and willing to be like, hey, like what
Highs
the
and lows.
Yeah.
It's gonna go bad.
Yeah.
As we can tell.
As we can see in the promo. So just to get started, you know, what were some of the things that maybe you stood out to you that you liked about this episode?
It was a good filler episode. I like that Kevin was talking more about, you know, his dad. But it made me, like, physically stressed during his scenes, because I knew that was going to happen.
With the knee.
And I thought Sylvester Stallone did a really good job.
Me too.
And I thought they did a really good job building the battle scene for his movie.
I know.
The set, that was pretty cool. But I liked the flashbacks, of course, as
Me too.
always. Like, finally seeing Kate and Jack talking and enjoying each other again.
You mean Rebecca and Jack?
What did I just say?
Kate and Jack?
Not like that. Yeah, Rebecca and Jack. So I thought it was a good filler episode, and it's kind of nice sometimes to have filler episodes because I can relax and watch it, and nothing huge is gonna happen and stress me out.
Yeah, they might tease something big, but
Yeah,
that
like
may or may not
like
be.
that was one thing I think at the end they were teasing that Kevin might have an addiction problem because as he's taking pain pills, she says he's just like you.
Yeah, and that was very heavily implied too.
And he's getting surgery next episode, which means he's gonna be on narcotics to recover. I worked in surgery, so that's why. Although that's pretty much common knowledge, but
Yeah.
so I think they were implying that, you know, he's gonna struggle getting off pain medicine.
It's weird that he didn't really mention Sophie at all. Like, he didn't try, like,
I know.
give her a
Well,
call. Like,
Toby wasn't in it either.
that's true. I'm about to say.
I like the actor, just
The character,
it's
yeah.
too much sometimes.
I really like this episode. I agree with everything you said. I really like Sylvester Stallone in this episode, and of course, you know, we kind of talked about this previously, and the fact that, you know, bringing in Sylvester Stallone and talking about how much, you know, Stallone means to Milo Ventimiglia's character, and the fact that, you know, like, and they're talking about all the Rocky movies and stuff. I still think it's weird that, like, they're talking about the Rocky movies, but, like, Milo Ventimiglia was in one of the Rocky movies as Rocky's
Yeah,
son.
so they're acting like it.
I know, like, it's
It's
one of those,
like canon, but not canon.
I know, it's like one of those things that like, breaking the fourth wall, even though it's like they aren't like talking about like Rocky Balboa with Milo Ventimiglia, but I don't know. But I really like Sylvester Stallone in this. I've been kind of looking forward to him being on the show, just kind of for that reason. And I'm glad he was able to be the one, you know, oh, we're going to do this one for your father. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Even though like, they kept showing that in the promos, that was still a really nice scene. And just seeing Kevin kind of, at least in our eyes, kind of finally dealing with Jack's death, because for what we know, he hasn't really been dealing with it at all. And for us, as audience viewers, this is our first time really seeing him struggle with that in any way. And it's nice to see some growth with him as a character, because I feel like last season there wasn't a whole ton.
Only thing was Sophie.
Yeah, which I enjoyed. Don't
But
get
we
me
saw
wrong.
the whole thing with him with Sloane and like.
I know that
Those
and
random
that one girl before Sloane and all that stuff. Yeah, but now that like we're starting to see more of a development with him as a character, I'm more interested in him as a character. That makes him a little bit relatable, but also more of like a real character in that way.
Yeah.
And he's not just like the pretty boy. He's just like there to make one-liners and stuff all the time, which he can do sometimes, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But as I seeing that they're developing him more as a character, which is something that like this show does phenomenally. And I'll go back to, you know, the flashbacks as well, and just seeing Jack continue to struggle, and that like I think this season like they're starting to show that like just how imperfect Jack really is.
But he's imperfectly perfect. He's still
As Randall would say.
perfect, even though
yeah,
he's...
of course. But seeing him struggle with his addiction and kind of come to terms with that, and with AA and being honest with Rebecca, and it's nice seeing him be starting to be more open and honest with Rebecca, and opening up about the fact that, you know, that he took money from his dad, and that we as an audience saw that last season, but like I kind of forgot that Rebecca didn't know, because it's one of those things that like because as an audience we see these things, but then we kind of forget like, oh, they actually didn't know these things. Like Rebecca didn't know about this. So I'm glad that that Jack's able to start coming along more as a character. And obviously he's like almost everyone's favorite character in the show. But I like where his storyline's going, and I'm glad that they're spending so much time already focusing on that time period, because I think this season is building up to his death. That's what they keep teasing, like with the dog by the end of the episode, who was, I think, the reason why he ran.
The next clue to the puzzle.
Yeah, no. Then talk about the whole knee thing, and one thing I want to bring up too. What did you think of the whole Randall and the flashbacks trying to find his, like that whole?
Well, not so much that part, but I felt like when he was talking to Deja, that he was kind of like comparing their stories, and they're very different.
I know.
Like I know that
I think he was trying to make it,
and I understand that his life turned out great, but he started out in that family. You know,
that's
like
true.
She has been
there for like
with
3
her
hours.
mom and lived her whole life with the parents that she had.
For the most part, when she wasn't in foster care, yeah.
Yeah, and gone back and forth, and it's been a lot harder of a journey for her. And I was surprised that she didn't say that. I think that'll come up one point when she's like yelling. She'll be like, "You were born into a like amazing family,"
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think he meant that like your life can be great and will be great. I have faith. Like, I think that's what the message he was trying to convey. But like, you're right. He was kind of trying to compare their stories in a way. But you're right. They're two very different lives. Like, and I don't believe she's only 12. She seems like older than that for some reason. But for me, I just I really liked how the whole scene played out, and then how it ended the way I thought it would with her. Like once finding out that like her mom was gonna end up going to jail, and like her like breaking the image or the picture of what's like
William.
Why she? Yeah, wait, was it William? Was it
the picture of William?
Oh. And speaking of William, I like that they had that scene in there of William from like.
Shows that he'll probably be in it.
Yeah. Well, he was already in the first episode. He was in this episode. Was he in last week's? No. No, but I'm glad that I am happy that we're seeing more of William because.
Was this episode 3?
This was episode 3.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm glad we're seeing more of William, even though it is in the flashback form. I mean, that's all you can do with William at this point. But I am glad that they're keeping him around at least a little bit, because I think that's the one thing that the show has the ability to do is that even though they kill off a character or a character dies, they can still keep them around if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Because this show, I would say there's like 3 or 4 different timelines going on in this episode alone, between the present and then the main flashbacks, then William's flashbacks. You know, well, that's only like 3. But even
and the
then,
farther flashbacks, like Jack and them younger, because Kevin was having flashbacks.
Oh yeah, that too. About the whole being in the hospital thing and getting the necklace from his dad, which is like another further clue of like where they're all gonna be when Jack dies. I think that's the whole thing. She was like, oh, where are they gonna be when Jack dies? Like that's.
Well, we already know.
Yeah, and then they did also kind of show the scene, like very little of it.
She's going to tell Kevin.
Yeah, and he's like.
Maybe she told him to run in to see if Kevin was there because she was covering for Kevin or something. Maybe that's why Kevin's so guilty.
Yeah, that like he lied about. That maybe he lied about like where he was to go out with Sophie.
And so she was like, "Oh, go look for him." And maybe the dog's there to make us think he's running in for the dog because that's the obvious.
Yeah.
Because they don't do the obvious.
They don't. They think you. They make you think that they will, but they don't.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're gonna do this thing. Oh wait, not really. You know, like that's what one of the things that kind of like frustrated me about the finale like last season was like he kept making it seem like oh he was gonna like drunk drive and like that's how he was gonna die.
Well, that's like we might find out he died in a completely different way than the fire on the same night.
I don't know. Maybe they were sad that they lost their house.
Or he was dead, but I don't know.
We don't know what's really gonna happen because they never. I mean, yeah, there's his ashes, but we don't know exactly what happened. They haven't said what's gonna happen because that's a huge story point in the show, so they're not gonna reveal it anytime soon. If they do it this year and they do it in the finale, I want it to just be in the finale. Don't keep teasing us like, oh, wait until next year. Like that was really frustrating because like
they might even do it in the mid-season finale.
They could. They very well could. Like they have the ability to, and like it would be shocking and get everyone talking. And for a show that's already super high ratings wise, that would like oh my god, like that episode would kill ratings. Like everyone would be like going back and watching on DVR or whatever, or then like by the time I came back after the mid-season or the following episode, the ratings would be huge. So like they know whenever they reveal Jack's death is going to be big, and they're very obviously teasing us in a way that like we're gonna keep wanting to find out little tidbits every week, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of that, of like making us interested in like finding all the little clues of like where everything was going to be. It's not exactly in the most subtle of ways, but I'm liking it. And one of the before we close off here, I really am liking Rebecca more.
Yeah,
this season.
that was the goal for the writers this season.
Yeah, well, because I think they really like.
Because it's Mandy Moore, she's hard to not like her character, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to turn that around.
Yeah. And for me, especially because like how we were at the end of last season with her, just because like, how she acted in the finale, she seemed very like selfish and like not really like caring like about her family. She's caring about her own dreams. But now that like she's there for I was gonna say Zach, but there for Jack, and being patient with him and being there for him when he's willing to talk. And I understand like that might get frustrating after a while if she's like kind of waiting for Jack. But then it's nice, and especially in this episode when like she tried having sex with him and it didn't work the first time around. But then like that obviously we knew by the end of the episode that they were gonna have sex again. But also I'm seeing how that like it bothered her, but she wasn't like lashing out at him or doing anything that I feel like that season 1 Rebecca might have done. But I really like how they handled her in this episode. I feel like there wasn't a part of the episode I really disliked at all. You know, the only other thing I could say is like what Kevin said about to Kate about her being damaged or whatever was a little uncalled for.
That was predictable too.
No, yeah, of course. But that was like the only thing, but that's like in character for Kevin in that moment when you know he's already like upset. But were there any things at all that you disliked at all?
Not really. I think it was a solid episode.
Me too, yeah. And for me, like I enjoyed this episode. You know, maybe not like the best episode of This Is Us, but it's been consistently good so far.
A good episode makes me want to watch more.
Yeah, and that's all I really have to say. So I think with that being said, that's going to be it from us. So what did you guys think of this episode? Sound your thoughts in the usual place in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for really all the content we put up on our channel. If you guys are interested in any of the DC's shows, Amy and I have been reviewing of them. We're doing Flash tonight. We already did Supergirl last night. Or you guys should check out our reviews of This Is Us from the previous episodes. Or even if you guys want to check out the Justice League trailer reaction, we shared our thoughts on that and we watched it live for you guys. You guys can check that out. Or any of the other videos on my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, have a good one.